Hi everyone. I've really enjoyed reading your work, and I wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up on next week's assignment. It is hard to believe we're already in week 4, but next week you're going to have, in workshop 5, kind of a big project, and I wanted to just give you some advance notice on it so it will not seem overwhelming. The project that you're going to be doing actually has 2 parts. You will choose 2 scholarly journal articles reporting on quantitative research that was done using one of the statistical tests you have learned about over the last 4 weeks. You will find key information in those 2 articles and enter that information in a worksheet. Then you will write a paper summarizing your findings for the 2 articles. First thing, you will go to Week 5 submissions. Select Week 5 Article Analysis Worksheet. This worksheet will guide you through finding the information in the article that you will need to write your paper for this assignment. Download the worksheet and fill in the different sections. You will find out what question the researchers are asking in each article. You will indicate the null and alternative hypotheses. Remember, depending on the research that was done, there may be more than one hypothesis. The null hypothesis says there is no relationship between the variables. The alternative hypothesis indicates what relationship the researchers think they will find. You will find the population being studied. Remember that the population is the group of people that you want to be able to apply your results to. Since it would be very difficult to observe the entire population, the researchers will choose a sample. You will indicate how that sample was chosen. You will indicate which statistical test the researchers used to determine if their results were statistically significant. Make sure the articles you choose indicate whether a t-test, ANOVA, or chi-square was done. You will indicate the standard deviation for the variables. Remember, depending on the variables, there may be several standard deviations. The significance level is usually indicated with a p-value. Remember that the p-value is the level of risk the researchers are willing to take, that their results are just a result of chance. Then you will indicate what the researchers said were limitations that might prevent them from applying these results to the larger population. Remember, these are limitations the researchers stated in their discussion or conclusion section of their article, not your opinion. Once again, when you choose your 2 articles, it will be very important that you use quantitative research because that's the type of research where you will find statistical tests being applied to the data. You will want to find quantitative research that either does a t-test, an ANOVA, or a chi-square test. One of the things that I have done for you is if you go into Workshop 5 and you scroll to the bottom, you'll find Week 5 resources. In the Week 5 resources, I have included 2 articles that have the information that you need to be able to do your article worksheet. You do not have to use these 2 articles, but if you are struggling to find an article that has the statistical tests you have learned about, these are 2 excellent opportunities for you. Once you've analyzed 2 articles, you will prepare a paper where you'll summarize your analysis of the results and discussion section of those articles. You'll want to make sure you use the information that you've learned in this class to decide whether or not these are good studies. Is the sample size appropriate? What statistical analysis was done? How do you know that the statistical analysis either provided enough information to reject the null hypothesis or to accept the alternative hypothesis? Because of that, can the results be generalized to the larger population from which the sample was drawn? Be sure to look at the rubric for the requirements for this assignment. Be sure to properly cite your sources and include them in your reference page. For this assignment, you should have at least 4 references. You will have a reference for each of the articles you analyzed, you should have a reference for your textbook, and 1 additional peer-reviewed, scholarly reference about statistical tests will strengthen your paper. I give you this information ahead of time because it's a big project and I want to make sure that you don't get slowed down because of not choosing quantitative research articles. As I mentioned in my announcement for next week, if you do the worksheet early in the week, I will make sure that I grade it quickly so that if I see anywhere that needs to be adjusted, that you can do that early in the week. If you have any questions, as always, my telephone number is 616-9530309, or you can send me an email. Blessings.